Alright guys, I'm making this video today. I put out a video the other day on my wife's bike with the long reach and what I did to cure it. People are not understanding though, this part is not available to buy. I kind of put it out there like, hey Electric, why don't you sell this part? But it is not available out there, but I've had a lot of people asking me about this, so I thought to myself, hey, is there something that I could do? So I looked around and I think I came up with an idea. I'm going to show you what I would have done to my wife's bike if I didn't have this part available to me, because I had a Expedition over here that I took the part off, not an X Premium. The reason why I got the camera facing this way, I just want to, my confusion when I was doing that video, I started out by saying Expedition, ended up with an X Premium. It's because I own both. I have, you know, multiple bikes here. I do have a X Premium, I do have an Expedition, I have a 2.0, I have a 3.0, and I have another bike back there too. But so again, let me get into, I'm going to explain what I buy from Amazon to start with, and then I'll show you how to do it. And if you want to do it, that's great. If not, you know, don't do it. First of all, guys, we're going to back up. I'm going to show you what I did. This part comes off my Expedition, like I said, and it's adjustable. I mean, you can make this thing go all over the place. Like I said, it's a great thing that Electric has, and you know, that's why I said I wish they would make it available for people. So this thing, and I didn't explain, I also took this neck off my Expedition too. So it still folds down, so it does everything you want it to do. So to do this fix, you would probably have to buy this bottom piece too, this flipping piece, and this adjustment piece. So, I mean, that could get expensive, and like I said, I think I've got a better way to do it. I just thought maybe, you know, I'd show you what I did, but people think they can buy this thing, so I just want to straighten that out. Electric doesn't sell them. So I put the handlebar back on the bike. The other ones are just hanging here. I'm not going to put the brakes on and stuff, but I just wanted to show you guys, because I like to do the whole thing. This bar here, I've got it on there loose so I can show you. So when people talk about turning the bar around, turning the neck around, basically all I do is go like this. So now it's turned around. But you know, first of all, I think it kind of looks goofy. So I probably wouldn't do that. I almost think it may throw the geometry off a little bit. You know, what we're doing, what I'm talking about is kind of the same thing, but I don't know, just this bend here just to me doesn't make it feel right. Maybe there's no difference. But here's the problem with this going this way here. So when you fold this thing down, when you fold it down now, it's on this side of the bike and the bike turns in. So you've got, I mean, right now it's thin because there's no brakes on it or anything. You wouldn't be able to fold the bike as tightly as you could. Whether or not that works for you or not, I don't know. It wouldn't work for me, let's put it that way. I need as much room in my car. I don't think you could get them in a tote if you put it this way. And I know a lot of people like to put them in totes. I don't even put them in totes anymore. I put them on a rack on the back of my car, but that's another story. So I just wanted to explain that. We'll put it back to the way it was. Now, I'm going to tighten this up a little bit just so it's not flopping all over the place while I explain this to you guys. All right, so this is what I do if it was my wife's bike. I would pull this pin, I would take this out. I'd leave this alone on the bike. This is going to stay the same. So you're only going to deal with this piece. And I'm going to set up a table and show you some stuff. Got my table up here, and I want to show you a couple things. One of the guys reminded me that, you know, make sure I tell people this was a 3.0 bike, an XP 3.0, and not a 1 or 2. And the reason being is on those bikes you would have to buy, if you were going to do this setup that I had on the X Premium on one of those bikes, you would need to buy a quill adapter. And what I mean by that is, this is what they have on the 3.0, they have them on the Expedition, they have them on the Premium. There's no quill adapter needed for this, and this is what we have on this bike here without the quill adapter. This here is off a 2.0. This is your quill adapter. It comes out, has a little thing that gets sucked in and tightens it into the tube. The reason why they did that is because these forks are threaded forks on these. So there's a nut on the top of this thing. It goes in and then tightens down. These forks here are off my Expedition. This has no threads on it. These are threadless forks, so they go up in. Inside of this pipe, there's a little threaded nut-like thing that when you tighten it up, it pulls it up. So that's the difference in the two bikes. So you could adapt it, but you would need a quill adapter. They're available on Amazon, but I mean, I'm just, just explaining the difference here because that's what I do. So I wanted to show you what I would get from Amazon. So I went out and I purchased these things so that I could show you guys. First of all, if you are not worried about the foldability of this thing, I never fold my bikes, but I guess I do want the option on it in case we take two bikes on the road. I would throw them on the rack on my car, but if I was going to leave them out at night, I'd put them inside the car. So I would want the foldability, but a lot of people out there, they just drive these bikes on the road, they put them in their garage, and they'll never fold them. So you could do away with this folding mechanism, and this is called a riser. And I'll show you how this would work. So these come in variable lengths. You can get different lengths. This is a shorter one, but here's that screw that's going to go down into the, so this is going to go on the top of your bike, if it was on the bike. And the set screws you tighten it with, this thing goes down in the middle and grabs that bolt and pulls it up. So, and these have little rings, so you could cut this down if you want to with a hacksaw, but this will get you going. So, before I do that, this is the other piece that I was going to recommend. Again, on Amazon, none of this stuff's expensive. This is basically the same thing that I showed you guys on that bike that everybody was excited about. The only bad thing is, and I have seen the piece that I have on that bike, I've seen them on there. I haven't looked it up, but I have seen them on Amazon or somewhere where they're the exact same thing, because I remember looking at it going, wow, I thought that was exclusive to electric, but it's not. So this is the other thing. I think they give you a Allen wrench. Nope, no one. Oh, Allen wrenches are here. Allen wrench is here, so you would loosen this thing up, so you would have to have this to make that adjustability, but this thing has that adjustability that I showed you on the other bike. So that's why, I said, hey, that'd be a great thing. So now, if this thing here was on the, you decided you didn't want that folding ability, you could go directly to this with this here too. But these bikes require a little bit more height to make them comfortable, and that's why I'm showing you this piece here. So you put that on, you tighten it all up, and then this goes on top of it, and then you can adjust it from there. Always got to have something going on. So yeah, so this goes on to the top of your bike, this goes on the top of it, then you can adjust it from there to whatever's comfortable for you. So that's one option without, tearing this thing apart and showing you. All right, so what I'm going to do, if it was my bike, is this is the piece we took off my wife's bike, and I'm going to cut this with a hacksaw. I know a lot of people probably don't like cutting things, I get it, but if you want to make this adjustment, you're going to have to cut it. Again, do they sell this part? Probably not. So if you ever had, you couldn't go backwards is what I'm saying. So make sure this is something that you'd want to do before you do it. And again, this is on your own. I'm just showing you what I would do. The thing I wanted to show you was, before I do this, I'm going to make sure the compatibility is there. So I get out my micrometer here. I had to buy this when I was starting on my first, well, the X Premium I put a fork on, so I needed to know the size of everything, because everything's in metric, so I had to get a metric one. So the first thing I'm going to do is check this, the sizing on it, and it's 28.6. So now this other side has the interior diameter, so we'll go out with that, and it's 28.5 something, so 28.6, same thing. So I do know that this is going to fit on there. The other reason why I know is I stuck it on this end to find out. It's the right size is what I'm saying. You know, you want to know that before you cut things. So what I'm going to do is, I actually have, this is for putting a fork on a bike. This gives me a nice straight cut. You don't need this. It's not critical that the cut be straight. I'm just a little bit of a fanatic, so I want it straight. So I'm going to put this thing on, and gives you a nice straight cut through there with the hacksaw. All right, guys, I can tell you that was a little bit more than I thought, but that's because they've got a big chunk of steel at the top of this thing. Not steel, it's aluminum. Aluminum's pretty easy to cut. So I'm going to take a file. I'm just going to take the burrs off of this so it's nice and smooth again. Clean this up, and there's no burrs left on it. So this thing's going to slide on there really nice. So this thing here will go on. I'm going to make it go all the way down on it. And when you get it on a bike, it'll tighten up more. So you want to make sure this is to the back of the bike, the square part on it, because that's where the square part is, to the back. So when we put this on the bike here, there it is, you know, and we've got the adjustment on it. We can go higher, lower, whatever. All right, guys, so that slides on there, and we're ready for the bike. But the next thing we got to do is we take the handlebars off here. So we'll loosen this up and get them off so that we can put them on the new bars. Okay, so we're ready to slide them in. So this will slide right on the bike here. We could put it up or down. We'll leave them down for now. We'll pull this thing in so it's tighter. You can now take your bars and adjust them wherever you want them. So I would suggest, you know, you get your wife out there, or whoever bike it is, and you figure out where you want them on the bike. But this is going to make it so that you can have them pretty much anywhere. Once you figure out where you're going with this thing, you can tighten it up. All right, so you can tighten them up so they're on the bar right. I've got this all loose here, but so you can take this thing, and now you want to tighten this thing up, and you want to tighten it up pretty good. You can see that these bars are way back now. I can make them go up, I can make them go down. We still have the adjustment here. You know, if you want them up here, you can have them up here too. I think this is a solution for you. It's a little bit better. The geometry stays nice and straight on the bike, so you're turning on the axis instead of having that thing bent back at an angle where it's not, you know, you're not really on the axis of the wheel. So, and that concerns me. So I'd rather see you guys safe than sorry, you know. You know, just so that everybody knows, the bar still folds down, same way it did from the factory. All we did now is we created a way to bend that bar back. So this can be done for, I want to say, just this neck here. I'd have to look it up, but I don't think it was over $30. I want to say probably in a $25 range. Had we used the other riser, that would have added another $10 to the cost or whatever, but then you wouldn't have the ability to fold it. So this way here, you know, it gets you what you need to do. Wrapping up this video, I hope this explained what you know, was going on here with those bars. I really wasn't, I know they don't sell them, that's why I try to say at the end of the video, come on guys, you know, sell them. but there was some confusion there. So this is my option for you guys to fix the bar, very similar to it. The only thing is you have to tighten it down with an Allen wrench, and then it's kind of fixed in its position. You can still change it, but you have to get that Allen wrench out. It's not as convenient as just pulling that lever. But I think this will do the job for you. I hope this helps. You know, if there's any questions, leave it in the comments. I'd be more than happy to answer your question, at least try to answer it. And, you know, have a good day, guys.